Okay, 59 degrees, winds 320, about 6 knots down the runway. Altimeter 3027, no clouds. Fly up to Planet Fled to Holman Field. Do a low pass over Lake Hyco and back to Windsock. Windsock traffic, ultralight 07 Romeo Echo taking off runway 32 Windsock. Midfield left downwind 31, Blue Ridge. Heavy network unit about 5 miles to the north and on to Lindsay runway 21. Or are you staying in the pattern? Hey, from Liberty 224, we're going to be staying in the pattern in Brookfield. Roger that. I'm about 3 miles to the west of the field. We'll be flying over the departure end, about 4 miles from the departure end of the runway, entering a left downwind for 24 Brookfield traffic.
Okay, traffic, Liberty 166 to left base 4, runway 24, Brookfield traffic.
Traffic, Liberty 176, left downwind runway 24, so we do a touch and go with them. They're now reventing on departure light for 31. Stable traffic 944, Echo Victor, turning downwind runway 31. Now reventing on Echo Victor inside.
Extra traffic collected at 559, we'll be entering, we're 30 miles to the north.
Windsock traffic, ultralight 07, Romeo, exit 31, runway 32, Windsock.
Okay, I'm going to give a little overview of my fuel system and then the engine on my AirBike Ultralight. All right, this is a 4.6 gallon tank, I think it is. And I marked it so I can see using this mirror from the seat. I can look back here at the tank and see where it is. It's pretty easy to see. Has a vent in the cap. Doesn't have an extra vent line. And so it just has one line coming out. That line comes out, goes into this filter, and then down to a low point that I can drain out, and then up into a facet electric fuel pump, which is operated on the dash right there, fuel pump. Coming out of the fuel pump, that just runs right into the engine-driven pump right here on this line, and then into the carburetor. It's a single carburetor. Works pretty well. This facet fuel pump I just use really helps me to start it a little bit less pulls, not much. And then I have it as an emergency backup in case the engine-driven fuel pump fails. And sometimes I'll leave it on for takeoff. So come around. Okay, here's the engine, Kawasaki 440, 39.5 horsepower at about 6,500 RPMs. This is the exhaust system, and this is how I hooked it up. Okay, so what I just did was I just used some rubber hoses and some attach points. This is right off the rudder. This is a steel rudder pedal rod that goes through. So it moves, which is fine because you don't want to crack this part of it. And when I had this made, I had the guy put a little extra piece of steel welded on the seam right there, and that seems to help. I've had no problems with that. What I have had problems were these bolts. Really pay attention to the torque on these. Early on, I over-torqued them and stripped them and had a helio coil, stuff like that. This is where the starter would go if you wanted a starter. This is the belt drive. It's a Jaybir's belt drive. I only had to tighten it like twice now, and I just recently tightened it because it was slipping a little bit. Ultra Prop 2. It's ground adjustable. You see right there, you can see I have 11-degree blocks in it. Coming around to this side, that's a Makuni VM36 carburetor with the air filter. Here's your little choke. I do not have a primer on it, so that's why I got the fuel pump. This is your fuel line coming out of the engine-driven fuel pump mounted on the firewall there. And there's your pulse port line right there. Not much problems on this side. This mount did break, so you can see I have it strapped in. Was screwed in there. It's still kind of screwed in, but mostly it's just strapped in with those. And the pull starter, this recently cracked, so I taped it up. And mostly I have the pull starter like this now. And I'll just replace that soon, as soon as I find a nice handle. So that's about it for the engine. It's been great. Hasn't had a problem. I'll show you. Okay, this is your throttle line. It runs through the cowling and then comes out here to this point. Have it safety wired. This is the second throttle I've had, or throttle line I've had. I had on this part right here one time, because this is idle. Okay, here's full throttle. As I was coming in, it was